Um, So, first thing I have to say is, wow. I didn't expect that. But I want to first, again, say good afternoon, everyone. So you can say good afternoon back. Good afternoon. No, this is ALS. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Much better. I want to just, first of all, say thank you to Bill and Liza, who I've gotten to know over the last number of years. And I want to just thank you, first of all, for this award. I'm very proud of both of them and the entire ALS team here in Georgia. And I want to thank them for what they do for ALS patients and their families. And I will tell you, they don't do it just because, they do it because they care. And they have a relationship with these patients that's like nobody else. And I can't say enough about them. And Nancy, I met Nancy just a few minutes ago, and I found out she's from Boston. So all they do in Boston is win, win, win. But I want to congratulate you on your Heroes Award. And, the Ice Bucket Challenge, I remember when it first started and it became a national sensation. And it was so rewarding for me to see, and I cannot think of a better way to honor your son than what you did. So congratulations. So, sometimes I don't feel like I deserve the awards, but I will accept this award on behalf of my wife, Tammy, who's sitting over there. She's like the glue to our family. My boys, Nick and Quentin, you saw them on the screen, and Quentin's with us today. My siblings, Jay, who was raised twin, and Jay's husband's ill, so she couldn't be here today. My sister, Linda, who was the baby of the family. And then my brother Bill, who is in transition of selling a house, so he's not going to be here today either. But I also accept this on behalf of my sister-in-law, Shirley. And Shirley and Ray were married for 26 years. And when Ray got sick, Shirley was his caretaker. It was unbelievable to watch what she did. And on behalf of my niece, Kelly, and I would just tell you this, Kelly, and I watched Kelly grow up with her dad, and your dad absolutely adored you. Absolutely adored you. And he still does today. But last but not least, I accept this on behalf of Nancy Scott. Nancy is my Kroger associate and personal friend. We've known each other a long time. And for many, many years, we've worked together side by side on this important cause. And I'm proud to work with her, and I'm proud that she's at my table today. She's like family to us. So many of you heard about Ray, and many of you know about Ray. He was my older brother. Sometimes he said he was my younger brother, but he was my older brother. He was my idol. I looked at him like no other person that I was ever around, and he was my best friend. We did everything together. And I transferred out of Atlanta and worked in a number of different locations around the country. And I was in Columbus, Ohio, and it was July. And I got a phone call from Ray, and it was July of 1999. And he called to tell me he had ALS. Now, I'd heard of ALS, but I didn't really know a lot about it. And I remember saying to him, Ray, I'm on a number of boards on hospitals. We'll get you the best care, even though he had the best care with Dr. Glass here. And I remember telling him, we're going to beat this. I said, I guarantee we'll beat this, because I was the internal optimist. He says, Bruce, you can't beat this. I said, we are going to beat this. And the more and more we researched it, Tammy and I researched it, I found out there was no cure. I learned a whole lot about it. And Ray passed away in September of 2000, 14 months after his diagnosis. And it was a fast 14 months, and he went downhill very quickly. And I was with him the night he died. I remember I was supposed to go back to Columbus, and he said, don't leave. And I said, Ray, I've got to get back. I've got meetings tomorrow. He says, don't leave me. And so he passed away that night. And the last thing he said to me, and I'll never forget this, is try to make a difference. He said, you're in a position to make a difference. Try to make a difference so others don't suffer as I've suffered. And so for the past, going on 20 years now, I've had the privilege to work with the ALS Association of Georgia. And I have met so many very special ALS patients, and many that have passed on. And the common denominator that I've found with ALS patients is every one of them is an amazing person. Every single one of them is an amazing person. I don't know why ALS strikes such great people. There's one person in this room that my family really admires, and we admire all the ALS patients. But Kerry Good, where's Kerry? Right here. Kerry was an Alabama football player. He played in the pros. He was an incredibly strong man, and he was diagnosed with ALS in 2015. He has been nothing short of an inspiration, not just to me, to Nick Saban, to all the players that he played with. And with all the difficulties that he has faced, and he has faced many, he remains positive, and he remains focused on helping others more than himself. And I would just tell you on behalf of Tammy and myself, we are proud to call you and Tanja our friends. And we will be for many, many years to come. So thank you, guys. Kerry's been at our ALS tournament. He was our honoree in 2016, and he's been to the tournament ever since. And he has made the tournament better every year because he's been there. And everybody that plays in that tournament knows Kerry. And I'm proud to say over the years, with the support of the ALS team, many of our sponsors, and I'm not going to call out sponsors' names and suppliers, we have raised right at $3 million, all for ALS patients and their families. And I know for sure, I feel this, I dream about this. My brother's looking down, he's saying, thank you. Thank you, because together, and it takes a village, you are making a difference. You're making a difference, and it's so important to keep the fight up. And I will close by saying this, and I say this at every golf tournament I've been to, so if you've been there, I apologize, you're going to hear it again. It's my prayer that one day we will say we found a cure for ALS, and we stopped it in its tracks. And we will do that one day. I can guarantee you that will happen. On behalf of my family, I want to thank you so much for this award. Thank you very much.